What's up, guys, and welcome to the Tim Sports Talk. And today we are going to talk about the positives of this guy, Ryan Fitzmagic. No Fitztragic talk here, okay? I don't want to see you guys down in the comments talking about, his interception ratio and, he's got no arm or, he's a loser, blah, blah, blah. None of that today, all right? We are going to talk about the positives, all right? And honestly, there's actually a decent amount of positives when it comes to the signing of Ryan Fitzpatrick. And it's mostly just his energy, right? That's the first thing I wrote down. His energy lights up the locker room, right? And he lights up the field. The people love to play for him. When he got benched for Tua Tagovailoa, there was a big conversation in the locker room to how they were actually felt horribly for Ryan Fitzpatrick. They were loving how he was playing, how much passion he brought to the game, how much he had them at a 3-3 record at the time, and the three teams they lost to were kind of expected anyway, but he was competitive. They almost beat Buffalo. They competed against Seattle. They were 3-1 in their last 4 games with him as the starting quarterback. And people were pretty surprised with how he was playing, and then all of a sudden to randomly get benched by Tua. And then he came in against Denver, almost won that game. He was slinging the ball around when he came in late in that one. Then he came into the Raiders game. He did win that one. So there's a lot of good stuff coming from his just energy and camaraderie in the locker room that Ryan Fitzpatrick will bring. Another thing is experience. He has experience through the roof. Is it all the best experience? Not at all. Some of the experiences is bad. But this is going to be his 17th year in the league. His 9th team. He's been through so many locker rooms, so many coaches, so many situations where that's all going to culminate into this year, right? And he is a very, very experienced player. Unfortunately, he's never had experience in the playoffs, right? He had a 10-6 record one year with the Jets, who was another solid team that year with Rex Ryan, and he had 31 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, just under 60% completion ratio, which is not very good, 3,900 yards. He has it's just weird, right? Because it's not great experience, but he has a ton of it, and you got to think that that's going to help him because it has. The last 3 years have been the best 3 years of his entire career. I mean, you're talking 66% completion percentage, a much better touchdown to interception ratio than he did in the past. It's not great. 17-12, 20-13, 13-8 were the last 3 years. And then 62% completion percentage 2 years ago, and then 68.5 last year. And it's definitely, unfortunately, it's coming when he's 39 years old, but he's starting to figure out how to actually play at this level to be better at the NFL level, which means he was not a very good quarterback to start, but he is definitely an understanding of the game. He did go to Harvard. He's a very intelligent dude. He just didn't really have the arm strength, and he didn't really have I don't know what you would call it, but really it's mainly the arm strength that he didn't have throughout his career. Another thing that he's bringing is he is fearless. I mean, he's 39 years old, and he has nothing to lose. He's already never been to a playoff game. He's already looked at as kind of a joke in the league. It's Fitzpatrick or Fitzmagic or Fitztragic, right? So he is going to bring a fearlessness about this season that is going to be very, very refreshing. We've been used to conservative quarterbacks the last few years. Even Kirk Cousins was not necessarily a gunslinger, but Alex Smith, Mr. Checkdown himself. Dwayne Haskins seemed to be scared to throw the ball down the field. Kyle Allen is a joke, right? We had a little taste of something of a gunslinger when it came to Taylor Heineke late last season in the playoff game and in that game against Carolina. But he is going to bring a consistent fearlessness that's going to be fun to watch. There's not going to be any more Skins fans that are going to be like, hey, why can't we throw the ball downfield? Why do we never call plays downfield? This guy's going to throw the ball downfield. And some of you are going to be like, why can't he just take the check down? Why does he always have to throw it downfield, right? But that's going to be fun for Terry. That's going to be fun for Curtis Samuel. That's going to be fun for Logan Thomas. These guys are going to get 50-50 shots that they haven't gotten basically in a long time or never in their career. How many 50-50 balls has Terry McLaurin got? A handful, maybe in his 2 seasons. He is going to get a ton of targets. There's that that thing going around the picture of all the targets of his number one receiver. I think Brandon Marshall had like 180 or 175 targets in one season, which is unbelievable, outrageous even. And so he's definitely going to get a whole lot more targets this year. You know, he had 1,000 yards this year. I think he was like just like around 900 the year before. This guy could all of a sudden bust out for 1,500 yards just because of the pure volume Terry should be able to find throughout this season. And he's another, like, what else is good about him is he's actually an interesting guy for Taylor Heinicke's development. They're actually pretty similar. They're kind of undersized. They don't have the best arm in the world, but they're gamers. They're out there just making it work with their legs when they have to, buying time in the pocket, slinging the ball around, not afraid to throw it downfield. So if Taylor Heinicke has any inkling of being the future, this guy is actually not a bad dude to learn from because this is his kind of play style. And so it's weird if you think that Taylor Heinicke might have a chance. I'm not necessarily super on board with that because of his health. But if Taylor Heinicke has an outside chance, because the dude could sling it and the dude has some game in him, this guy is a great guy to learn from. So there's actually an interesting amount of positives coming out of Ryan Fitzpatrick in this upcoming season. And he's had a 10-win season year before. I think that we're even a little bit better than that team back in the Jets in New York in 2015, where he went 10-6. Our defense is very interesting. We're going to have another draft coming up. Our defense improved. We have William Jackson instead of Darby, which is much, much better. Unfortunately, we did lose Ryan Kerrigan, but who knows? Maybe we can find another edge rusher later in the draft or something that can be that spell guy for Sweat and Chase Young. But we are getting Matt Ioannidis back, who we did not have last year, so kind of a trade-off there for Matt and Ryan Kerrigan. Our defense definitely improved. Our offense clearly improved. I mean, we had Terry plus whoever, right? It was kind of sad. Now we have Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel is better than any number two that we had last season. He's better than Cam Sims, Steve Sims, Isaiah Wright, Dontrell Inman. Curtis Samuel blows those guys out of the water. And then we still have Logan Thomas and J.D. McKissick, two guys that played really, really well. And so we have a much better team than we already did last year. We won 7 games basically with no quarterback. And with a kind of a quarterback in Taylor Heinicke, we competed against the Super Bowl champions. We were the best team against that team. Of course, they didn't have Devin White, but still, we had the best game against that team all playoff long. So, Ryan Fitzpatrick, do I think he's going to win a Super Bowl? No. Do I think he can take us to the playoffs? Sure. I don't think we're going to go deep with him, but at the same time, he's such a weird dude where he's so fearless, you never know. That's how Doug Peterson, the coach, won a Super Bowl. He had no fear. He called crazy plays for Nick Foles, and it paid off. Nick Foles should not have a Super Bowl, but Doug Peterson called a great playoffs. Now he's fired. This is the kind of dude that he could all of a sudden play in a fantastic game and then the next year be fired. Right? Or the fantastic year and the next year be fired. I don't know. It's interesting. You guys let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Also, in the description below, there's a Discord link. Hop on our Discord and come talk some football with us. And last but not least, there are donation links in the description below. If you feel so kind, you could donate to the channel. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, there's some things to look forward to this year. And the main one is it's going to be exciting. You don't know what you're going to get week in and week out. But what you do know is it's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting, I guess is a better word for it. It's going to be an interesting season. No more boring check down Charlies where you're just begging, can somebody please throw the ball? He will throw the ball. And some of you will be like, can you stop throwing the ball? But anyway, thanks guys for watching. And until next time. See ya!